nobody cares or should care how you make your money. Unfortunately, in society today, the issue that I'm having is that people care about how you make money. Now, there is one thing you should be worried about. If you are getting it legally and illegally, that is a problem. If you're getting money illegally, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you have as much money as Elon Musk. I have no respect for you. But if you're getting money legally, within the boundaries of your self-respect and your morals and your standards, then it's 100% fine with me. But the issue I'm having is that people don't understand the function of money. So they're so concerned about going out there and grinding and getting the money and things of that nature, but they forget why they are doing those things. The reason we even sell our services is because we are trying to get money so we can live our lives and actually sustain one. But unfortunately, we don't even have a goal for our life. So what are we technically working for? Well, we don't know. And that's usually the problem, is that when we don't have a goal or something that we're working toward, people will give us a goal. And I've learned that a long time ago, that if you don't know what you're working for, the world will give you something to work for. And we go there and we actually search that out. We'll look on the internet and we'll see what jobs are out there and what people respect, because what people respect changes. Think about even your favorite celebrity, singer, actress. Back in Shakespeare's time, they weren't the celebrities. People didn't care about singers and dancers and entertainers. And even Malcolm X has one of my favorite quotes where he says, like, these people who are singing and dancing, is like, these aren't leaders. He's like, we are the only community, the black community is the only community that upholds these singer or dancers as our leaders and our advocates who speak for us for serious issues like politics and things of that nature. And I agree with him. He's like, these are entertainers. And he used a word, he actually called them clowns. He said, these are clowns. And I don't think he used it as a derogatory term. I think he just meant to put in his place is that this is entertainment. Clowns are entertainment for fun and things of that nature. And they should be respected as such. But in our community, they're raised up as people who have serious opinions, and they are people, but their expertise is not in political policy. Their expertise is not into social relations. And the same thing with finances. Their expertise is not in finances. So finding out how they spend their money and where they buy their clothes and how they shop may not be the best way to build your wealth. And that's what we're finding, is that the illusion of this entertainment, the celebrity, is causing us to spend our money on things that are not beneficial to us and our family, that we're not turning to financial professionals who see hundreds and thousands of individuals and how they spend the money and how they actually generate that wealth. And we're seeing that now in these documentaries, almost like TLC, where they're going multi-platinum, they're everywhere, they're famous. Us as civilians are looking at them going, wow, they're making a lot of money, they're doing a lot of great things, and they're saying they're broke, right? Because they're not handling the business. They're singing and dancing on TV, and there's someone behind the scenes working the financial aspects, the marketing, the promotions, the advertising, the tour dates, and all the work. And they're the ones that's getting most of the money. Now, that is where your education comes in, and that's where I come in, where I say, how are you making your money and understanding what money actually is? So I'm going to get back to the subject here, is that when we are working, we are exchanging our life, our time, for money in order so we can live that life, right? So we can support the things that we love to do, not what celebrities want to do, not buy what shirt they're wearing or trying to copy what they're doing. No, we are trying to build our life. What do you like? What kind of lifestyle do you want? What kind of home do you want? What kind of clothes do you like to buy? What type of activities do you like to spend your time doing? Because I always tell people this. I go, how much is your time worth, right? And they're like, well, I ask them, what do you do? What do you do with your time? And then people kind of give me, it's like, I rest at home, I do this, that, and the third. And I go, well, how much do you get paid per hour? And some people say, I get paid $20 or $15 or $40. I say, okay, so an hour of your time is worth $40, $50. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you $80. I want you to come over here and do what I want you to do. They're like, I'm not gonna do that. It's like, why? You're selling your time to this job and you won't sell it to me. The reason people won't sell it because there's no prestige in selling it to a random person on the street, right? And doing whatever they want to do. But we will sell 10, 20, 30 years of our lives to our jobs for a paycheck and forget to live our lives or what our purpose is. So what I tell people is like this: start with you first. Figure out what you want to do. Do you want to learn another language? Do you want to go to church more? Do you want to spend more time with your kids? Whatever that is, set a goal for there and say, how much of my time do I need to sell in order to fund the vacations, to fund the events, or or just to have the freedom to go walk and do those things. Find that number and reach that goal and sell just enough of your time to get that done. Everything else, enjoy yourself. Take your vacations, go out, rest, walk, have fun, grow. All those things are going to be very important for you to have a life, because what we're finding out is that people will try to chase these quote unquote prestigious jobs like financial advisors and lawyers and doctors and things of that nature. And they're spending 10, 20, 30 years of their lives, getting these degrees and everything else like that. But when they look up and they're 65 and they have buku money, $2-3 million, and they're like, where's my life? My kids are all grown up. The activities I thought that I want to do are no longer there, are like, I'm too old or I'm too hurt to get them done. And they have regrets. They have regrets about where they actually focused their time. And for me, I want to come on here and tell y'all, stop selling your time, overselling your time for money. It's not worth it. Even if it's just a 1 hour of reflection is worth, its weight in gold if it really helps you overcome some maybe anxiety or some depression that you may have. It's worth it. Sometimes we distract ourselves with work. Oh, I'm just going to work. I'm not going to think about myself. I'm not going to improve myself. And that's not the way to do it. So, I just kind of come on here. I wanted to come on here and just talk to y'all for a second, because I see how people don't understand you are selling your time for money. That's it. You have a skill, you have a service, you're exchanging it. That's it. You go home. A lot of us have our prestige and our identities tied to our jobs because we have no personal life, right? I don't care if I'm, back when I was working for somebody else, I didn't care if I was employee of the month. Who cares? Keep your little award. I don't care that you printed this certificate and it has your logo on it and you telling me I'm employee of the month. So what? So that doesn't do nothing for me. Right? And then also too, people talking about, oh, well, you need to climb up the corporate ladder to make more money. Why do I need to climb up your corporate ladder to make more money? All I need to do is improve my skills. Somebody's going to buy it. If you don't want to buy it, somebody else is going to buy it. I think that's the issue, is that you think that you only have one buyer, right? Which is your employer. And you go, I have this skill. This is how much they're going to pay me. And that's it. No, you're only focused on one person. There are thousands of companies out here that are looking for your services. Now, obviously, it's like a market. So, think about an orange. You can only sell an orange for so much money, right? You can't sell yours for 50 cents. Someone else, wants to sell theirs for $8. Nobody's going to buy it. But there's a competitive market out there for the skills that you have. And if they don't want to buy it at the price point that you need, go ahead and improve your skills and get better, and then sell it to the highest bidder for whatever it may be. Now, you may think, Mr. Ridgeway, what about loyalty? What about consistency? I understand those things, but you have to understand that you are a business too. So that means that you can't just live paycheck to paycheck and hope that you can sell your services to whoever the buyer is, because the market is cyclical, right? There's going to be ups and downs. So you're going to have an emergency fund. So when you are searching for your job, or just like an entrepreneur, when you're looking for that next client, or if you're looking for that next opportunity, you have some cash flow to support your life, so you don't have to sell your services for cheap, right? So you're going to preserve some of those assets. So I think, as I was talking to somebody earlier, you have to master the basics. And the basics is you work, you get money, you save a portion of it for time when times get tough, you invest in your life, and you realize that you don't owe your job anything. Your job pays you. Your job is not even a thing. Did you know that? Like, there's no such thing as your job. Well, there is a such thing, but it's called, it is a separate entity. It has an EIN number, just like you have a social security number. It's an outside entity. It's made up of individuals It's not a living, breathing person. You can't go up to your job and say, hey, job, I want to talk to you for a minute. No, you're talking to a manager. You're talking to somebody from your local city. You're talking to somebody from another state. You're talking to somebody from corporate, right? And once they're gone, somebody else is replacing them. It is a non-living person, but you're the living person. So you don't have a loyalty to a job. What you have is this subconscious loyalty to an individual that you've attached to this job, right? And we need to break that cycle, and we need to understand that we are a business, we have a service, we are selling that service, we are getting paid, and we're going home. Our identity shouldn't be attached to our job title. It doesn't matter if you make $1 million being a lawyer, $1 million being a garbage man, or $1 million being someone selling drinks on the side of the street. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you are doing with that money and how you are living this life and how you feel. Now, listen, if you get your recognition or you get your self-value from your job, go ahead and do it. But I am telling you right now that job is only as loyal as how good your services are worth to them. And they will drop you at the drop of a hat. What I am saying is that you want to invest in something that no one can take away from you, which is yourself. When you retire or you quit and your identity is tied up in your job, that's going to be a very tough switch to say, okay, my identity has been this doctor, lawyer, or with this company for 20, 30 years. Now that I'm retired, who am I? What am I? What's my goals in life? What do I like? Well, you've gone 20, 30 years without even thinking about it. Now you're going to have to try to figure that out. You're going to go to existential crisis, right? Well, what's the point of living, and what am I going to do? You're going to sit at home and not do anything. So what I'm telling you is now, today, practice your self-worth, finding out what you love and what you love to do, who you love to be around, and do it now. Who cares if you don't have $80 million in the bank? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Are you happy? Are you doing what you want to do? Are you enjoying those things? And I understand it. You have to live. But you don't have to live the way that you think that you have to live. And what I mean by that is that a lot of people are overestimating how much they actually need to live. Okay? What are some things in your life that you feel like you just can't live without? And I promise you, it's probably not what you think it is, right? Because it's the glasses in which you see things, right? If you really think that you deserve a Bentley and a Maserati and an 80-car garage and a 24-room mansion, okay. If you want to work for that, you can. But let me tell you, from knowing people who have those things, it's one thing to get them. It's another thing to maintain them. It's a sad day where you have someone who's 70 years old. You come in, they have 20 different properties. They have multiple cars. They have, all kind of jewelry, things of that nature. And one, nobody wants it. Two, there's so much paperwork trying to get it all done. Three, a lot of money is going out trying to maintain homes nobody's in. Four, even if they're making profit on it, they just can't handle it, don't want to handle it, because every day there's an issue. So it's not just having things, it's maintaining things. And then also finding somebody who's going to take it over and not waste the 20, 30 years that you have. And guess what? A lot of people don't want to take the responsibility. They'll take the money, but they don't want to take the responsibility. Why? Because it's taken away from their life, right? So, think about those things. Think about those things. So that's why I want to come on here and just kind of whisper in your ear today and say, listen, when you are working, don't forget about you. Don't forget about your goals. Don't chase money. Have your goals and support it through money. So when enough is enough. I always talk about that. Find your enough. And once you find your enough, you can be content with what you have, so you can be grateful for everything else that you get. And that's the thing. We live in this perpetual desire to gain and to have more money and have more things. I want more. I need to get more. I need more money. Well, when's enough, right? It's money's sensational. There's always one more dollar, another 100, another 1,000, another 10,000 to get. It doesn't stop. But it does stop once you start getting content. Say, hey, this is enough. I have enough. Everything else is going to be extra. Let me save up. Let me put some money in the account. I could live like this for a few years. This is what I want, and then I'll rest for a little bit, right? If you want some more, you can go get some more. But I'm telling you, once you find that contentment of where you're at, then you'd be grateful for every dollar you get. You go, oh, this is great. This is more than what I need. Oh, this is more than what I need. So when someone calls you broke, you go, I'm not broke. I'm happy. I have something you don't. I have enough. I'm fine. I'm okay. And you can sincerely say that because you've done the work. Okay. Well, this video is about 15 minutes, but I had some time to talk to y'all, and I'm gonna try to talk to y'all a little bit more on topics such as these, because I think this kind of goes into the psychology of money. On my channel, we kind of go into the fundamentals and we kind of go to the practical aspect of financial planning, but I think you really need to know what goes behind those numbers. Financial planning is more than just numbers. It truly is. It's life. It's life. I've been there. I've been there for all stages, from the brokest to the moneyest, right? If those are even words. But thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe, because I definitely want to educate y'all so y'all get off the hamster wheel, that you can finally find happiness no matter where you are, and we can live this life together in happiness and joy, and take back our power. Stop giving these corporations our power and our minds and our lives, and selling our time and our lives for pennies on the dollar. We're more valuable than that. Okay? All right. Love y'all.